69 stadiums, 3 nations, billions of eyes. FIFA 2026 is here. The beautiful game has taken over North America, from the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey to the Azteca in Mexico City. The world is watching. 80,000 fans screaming themselves hoarse, flags waving, goals scored, legends being born. It's the greatest show on earth. Now imagine this. Imagine a stadium that never heard a single cheer, never saw a single goal, never hosted a single match. 5,000 seats, brand new, gleaming, ready for glory. And then imagine those seats sitting empty, not for a day, not for a year, but for 4 decades. This isn't a story about FIFA. This is a story about a dream that died before it could begin. Welcome to Avanhard Stadium, the most dangerous football ground on planet Earth, where the pitch is a forest, where the stands are a graveyard, where the ghost of a championship team still waits for a match that will never ever come. On May 1st, 1986, this stadium was supposed to open. Instead, it became a monument to the worst nuclear disaster in human history. And the most terrifying part, the team that built it never played a single game there. Chapter 1, The Dream. Let's rewind way back. The year is 1970. The Soviet Union is building something ambitious. A brand new city carved from the forests of northern Ukraine. They call it Pripyat. Pripyat isn't supposed to be just another Soviet town. It's supposed to be a utopia, a showcase of Soviet modernity. High-rise apartment buildings, nightclubs, swimming pools, romantic cafes overlooking a lake. 50,000 people live there. The average age, 26 years old. This is a city of young dreamers. And what do young dreamers love? Football. In the mid-1970, a football club was born. They call themselves FC Stroitel Pripyat. Stroitel means builder in Russian, and that's exactly what these men are. They're the workers who built the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Welders, electricians, construction supervisors, engineers. The idea for the team came from Vasily Izima, the director of the construction administration of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. He wanted to give the young workers something to rally behind, and they did rally. The players were known as snowdrops because most of them joined the club in the winter of 1981. They worked 12-hour shifts at the plant, and then they trained. They trained like their lives depended on it. Here's the thing about these men. They weren't just amateurs. They were champions in the making. Between 1981 and 1983, FC Stroitel Pripyat won the Kyiv Oblast Football Championship 3 years straight. Think about that. A team of construction workers, full-time laborers, and they dominate their region like a dynasty under head coach Anatoly Shepel, a former USSR international striker. They became unstoppable. In 1985, they finished second in their group and even set a competition record with 13 goals in a single match. One step away from promotion, one step away from the big time. But there is a problem. Their home ground is small. Decent, sure, but nothing special. For a team with championship ambitions, they need a proper stadium, something that matches their potential. Enter Avanhard Stadium. Avanhard means vanguard. It's a name that signals leadership, dominant, the cutting edge of Soviet sport. Construction began on the stadium in 1979, the 4th microdistrict of Pripyat, right near the amusement park, the Ferris wheel, the bumper cars, the carnival atmosphere. The design is ambitious. 5,000 seats, a proper running track, natural grass on the pitch, a massive main grandstand with a press box and a player tunnel leading to the field. The kind of facility that could host professional matches. The official opening is scheduled for May 1st, 1986, International Workers' Day, the second most important holiday in the Soviet Union. The city is buzzing. There are going to be parades, fireworks, festivities, and at the center of it all, the match that will inaugurate the stadium. A grand opening against Dynamo Kyiv. FC Stroitel Pripyat versus FC Borodianka. A cup semi-final. The winner goes to the final. The entire city is counting down the days. They don't know that they're counting down to the end of their world. Chapter 2, The Annihilation. April 25th, 1986. The players of FC Stroitel Pripyat are training. They're in peak condition. Their focus is laser sharp. The semi-final is just days away. The stadium is almost ready. The city is preparing for the biggest celebration in its history. Nobody knows what's coming. At 1:23 a.m. on April 26, 1986, reactor number 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant exploded. The explosion is catastrophic. catastrophic. The reactor core is exposed. The 1,600 fuel channels are ruptured. Massive amounts of radioactive material are hurled into the atmosphere. The graphite moderator, all of it ignites. A fireball rises into the night sky. The radiation release is 400 times more lethal than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Now, you'd think the Soviet government would do something. Warn people, evacuate the city, get everyone out. Instead, they do nothing. For 36 hours, the residents of Pripyat go about their lives, completely unaware that their city has become ground zero for the worst nuclear disaster in human history. Children walk to school, parents go to work, shoppers visit the market, and the footballers of FC Stroitel Pripyat wake up on the morning of April 26th, stretch their muscles, and prepare for a semi-final that will never be played. Now, here's the moment that will haunt you. A helicopter appears over the training field of their opponents, FC Borodianka. It lands on the pitch. Several men in protective suits step out and approach the team's coach. They don't smile. They don't explain. They simply all deliver a message. Lads, go home. You're not going to Pripyat tomorrow. The players are confused. They're angry. They've trained for this. They've sacrificed for this. Why would they not go? The official won't say. He can't say. There has been an accident, a serious one, and the entire city is about to be evacuated. At noon on April 27, 1986, the Pripyat Street Radio announced the temporary evacuation of the city's residents. To reduce panic, people are told they can return home in 3 days. They're allowed to take only what they can carry. Their pets are left behind. Their possessions are left behind. Their entire lives are left behind. 1,390 buses from Kiev and the surrounding region are concentrated on site. 51,000 residents are loaded onto them. Children wave through the windows. Parents promise to return. No one knows that they're leaving forever. Now, here's the part that breaks your heart. Avanhard Stadium is ready. The seats all are waiting. The grass is cut. The press box is stopped. The match balls are inflated. And then it all becomes meaningless. The stadium is abandoned. The semi-final is cancelled. The team that was supposed to play there, the team that built their dreams around this stadium, will never set foot on its pitch. The team tries to reform in a new city, Slavitik, 45 kilometers away. They call themselves FC Stroitel Slavutik. They try to recapture the magic. For 2 seasons, they struggle. Funding dries up. The players drift away. In 1988, the club was officially dissolved. A football dynasty that dominated its league for 3 years gone. A stadium that was meant to be a monument to glory, empty. A city of 50,000 people, a ghost town, and radiation that will take at least 150 years to become safe. 150 years. That means nobody can live here. Nobody can build here. Nobody can play here for a century and a half. Avanhard Stadium is the most dangerous football ground in the world, and it never even hosted a single match. Chapter 3, Nature's Revenge. What happens when humanity abandons a place? Within a year of the evacuation, the grass on the pitch is overgrown. Within 5 years, saplings are sprouting through the turf. Within 35 years, those saplings have become towering trees, reaching heights of 30 feet and more. The football field doesn't look like a football field anymore. It looks like a forest, a dense, tangled forest that's growing right where championship players once dreamed of scoring goals. Walk onto that pitch today, and you wouldn't even recognize it as a sports facility. The trees are so thick you can barely see the stands. The goalposts are long gone. The white lines are erased. The pitch is unrecognizable. But here's the thing. The forest isn't the only thing that reclaimed the stadium. In the immediate aftermath of the disaster, the wide open space of the pitch served a grim purpose. Military helicopters used the stadium as a makeshift landing zone. Rescue workers, scientists, liquidators, these brave souls would fly in, land on the pit, and walk straight into the abandoned locker rooms to plan their mission. They were fighting a war against an invisible enemy, and many of them lost. Those locker rooms, the same ones where players would have celebrated victories, became decontamination zones. Protective suits were donned and removed. Geiger counters were checked and rechecked. Men in protective gear filled the hallways, desperate, trying to contain a disaster that was spiraling out of control. Later, scientists even set up a weather station on the grass to monitor radiation levels in the air. The floodlights that once promised to illuminate night matches have rusted and toppled. The stands that were built to hold 5,000 cheering fans are rotting. Their wooden benches benches splintered and broken. The press box where journalists would have reported on championship victories is now a haven for birds. And the walls are peeling. But if you look closely, you can still see the mosaic artwork. You can see the Soviet-era symbol. You can see the faded painted murals that were meant to inspire generations of young athletes. But here's the real horror. The radiation is still there. The soil is contaminated. The air is contaminated. The dust that settles on the broken benches, contaminated. The water that pools in the locker rooms, contaminated. Avanhard Stadium is the most dangerous football ground in the world. Not because of hooligans, not because of riots, because of a silent, invisible, unstoppable killer that will be here for another 150 years. Visitors today must wear personal dosimeters, radiation detectors, that alert them if they're absorbing too much. They cannot eat, they cannot drink, they cannot sit on the grass, they cannot even touch the walls without checking their radiation levels. This, one too, is a site that wants to kill you, not quickly, not dramatically, but slowly, over decades, as the radioactive particles work their way into your bones. And yet people still come. Chapter 4, The Legacy. Tourists come, documentarians come, urban explorers come, and they all want to see the same thing, the most dangerous football ground in the world. Tour guides lead small groups through the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone. They stop at the stadium. They point at the forest growing on the pitch. They tell the story of Msstories, Pripyat, the builders who became champions, the champions who vanished overnight. Visitors take photographs. They capture the images of toppled floodlights. They film the peeling Soviet-era murals. They document the decay, and then they leave. But something stays behind. The legend of Avanhard Stadium has grown. It's become a horror story, a ghost tale, a warning. The stadium even appeared in the 2008 documentary series Life After People, a show about what happens to the world when humans disappear. It was the perfect setting, a place where nature had already begun its slow, relentless reclamation. And then there is the video game in Stalker. Shadow of Chernobyl. Avanhard Stadium appears as the final obstacle. The player must cross the stadium to reach the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. But it's not easy. The stadium is filled with anomalies, scientific impossibilities that warp reality. Mutated creatures prowl the corridors. Here's a chilling detail in the game. When you enter through the main gate, a cutscene triggers. The camera pans across the stadium, showing a group of wild boars getting caught in the anomalies and destroyed. It's a warning, a preview of what awaits anyone foolish enough to cross this place. In the game's lore, the stadium is so dangerous that even the most hardened survivors avoid it. They call it a false arena of flesh. Now, some of you might think it's just a game, it's fiction, it's power waste, not real. But here's the thing, Stalker was developed by Ukrainian creators, people who grew up near the exclusion zone, people who have visited Avanhard Stadium, people who have touched those peeling walls and walked past that forest on the pitch. They know the horror is real. When you play that game, when you step onto that virtual field, when you see the rusted towers and the overgrown grass, you're not just playing a game, you're walking through a tomb that holds 50,000 lives erased in 48 hours. The game got one detail wrong though. In reality, the stadium has one main grandstand. In the game, it has two, but that's a minor detail. The atmosphere, that's dead on. The only thing more terrifying than a stadium that never hosted a game, a stadium that lives forever in the imagination, a monument to human failure, a testament to a disaster that really happened. The players of Msstories Pripyat are gone. Their coach is gone. Their fans are gone. But the story isn't finished. Chapter 5. We need to understand what Avanhard Stadium really is. It's not a football ground. It's not a tourist attraction. It's not a video game level. It's a message from the past directed at the future. It says, we built this. We had dreams. We had ambitions. We had a vision of greatness. And we destroyed it all in a single night. 51,000 people were displaced. Hundreds died from acute radiation poisoning. Thousands more will die from cancers, from organ failure, from the slow, relentless decay that radiation causes. And the stadium, this beautiful, tragic, utterly useless stadium, it stands empty, waiting for a match that will never be played. There is something deeply unsettling about that, something profoundly wrong. A place that was supposed to be a celebration of life has become a monument to death. And yet there is hope. There is always is hope, because in the decades since the disaster, nature has reclaimed the site. The forest is growing, the wildlife is returning, the radiation levels are slowly falling. One day, 150 years from now, the exclusion zone will be safe again. The trees will still be standing, the towers will still be rusted, and the pit, that legendary pitch that never saw a single goal, it will be a meadow, a wild, untamed meadow where children can play. Maybe then someone will rebuild. Maybe then a team will return. Maybe then the stadium will finally host its first match. Until then, Avanhard Stadium watches, silent, waiting, a ghost in the middle of a dead city. A reminder that everything we build, we can destroy, and a warning that when we destroy it, we never know how long the shadow will last.